I'm on a mission and I won't stop. No destination, but it's worth a shot. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me go. Run wild.
Welcome back. Before we get into Champion Select, congratulations to all of you at home who topped your leagues in Fantasy LCS on Sleeper. For those of you who didn't make it to the winner's circle, come back next split for a shot at Redemption. We are here with Spica before he goes home for the day to do one more Champion Select heading into Series Point. If EG want to stay alive, they're going to pull off a reverse
I vote that if EG
sweep.
keeps the series alive, Spica stays. That's my vote.
He gets trapped here.
I guess trap here.
But I guess it's just my vote, yeah.
Well, I mean, EG hasn't won a series, or as a whole, sorry.
Hasn't won a
He
game.
hasn't won a game since I was here, so maybe I'm the bad luck.
It could be. But
Or
you
good
also,
luck for
you also
C9.
predicted C9 to win, so...
Well, I predict C9 3-1.
Oh, okay.
So this is maybe the one. Sheiden coming in. Big substitution to try and get some momentum in this series. Game 1 was close. I think we all agreed Armeo was playing well. Game 2, a couple bad, or not bad, but like misses in the mid game, but then had some snipes and team fights to keep it kind of close. But Sheiden in to change things up.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting because it doesn't really feel like Armeo's the problem. Because I feel like in Game 1, he played really, really well. And in Game 2, the game just kind of slipped away from, some mid ganks and, the Herald fight, right?
Yeah, I would think, like, I was just, if you were emotionally reacting to that game, the top lane gank on Sejuani where he missed the Q on, like, a W'd Renekton and then ended up dying under the turret might have been it. But then also, like, he is the sub, and when you're down 0-2, you kind of just put the sub in. I think there's a lot of arguments that Armeo wasn't even necessarily the problem during their 4-game losing streak, yet subbing Sheiden back in did lead them to a 3-game winning streak and a higher seed in playoffs. So I understand it. I think it's the right call.
I also feel like Sheiden is someone who can maybe help, but Jojo himself needs to step up a little bit. The 2 Jayce games, I think he plays pretty good in team situations, but he's been getting exploited in lane phase a little bit. Emenes has gotten the better of him 2 games in a row with the help of Blaber and Zven and whatever you want to caveat it with. But at the end of the day, Emenes is keeping the enemy team's star player in check, outperforming him. And I think that's something where if EG are going to rally, it's going to come down to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Emenes has kind of quietly been the star of the series in terms of when we were talking about going into it, we were saying it was Blaber versus Jojo, right? And we're like, Emenes hasn't looked as strong as like we know he can be. First game, they immediately pick him LeBlanc, obviously something that he is super, super comfortable on. If you watched him even before he came onto the LCS stage with C9, when he was on C9 Challengers. I see you, Emenes. I'm giving you your props. He's looking right at me. If
Yeah, Mark, what was that prediction? What was that prediction, Mark? Please stop looking at me.
Yeah, Emenes is going to come and find you and hunt you down. Yeah.
Just when you thought you're done.
Yeah, he's been really great this series. Again, we talked about how C9 had this game plan for mid lane with the Gragas Kha'Zix combo. They paid a lot of attention towards Emenes, and he really ended up repaying it in that game too.
So small thing, we're just getting Sheiden situated with his new gear setup, obviously taking a little extra time, just making sure as a substitution, keyboard's working, mouse working, headset working. Everyone plays on different audio levels and whatnot, so it takes a second. Should be getting the game very briefly though.
Speaking of, you had a reverse sweep before? I feel like you have.
Yeah, the Golden Guardians one, right? That was you.
I've had a few.
You've had a couple, yeah.
I've had a couple, I think.
Thinking back, like, what's the mindset? Like, how did they happen? How does a reverse sweep happen from the side that's down 0-2?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing for reverse sweep to happen is to just be in the right mindset, right?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times when we're down 0-2, the pressure's on. You realize, oh, if I lose one game, I'm out, or I have to go to the loser bracket, or, like any implication, right? So I think the biggest thing is for teams to trust each other. But I think that's something you have to be built upon. Is that something you just go into the series like, oh, we're going to be fine if we go down to 0-2. I think it's kind of the thing that you have to build, the trust over time. And I think it's a hard thing to do, but yeah, I think you just got to have that mentality.
It looks like, for what it's worth, EG were in good spirits on this player camp. All of them were smiling, joking around, and they are in the winner side, so it's not do or die quite yet. Might make it a little bit easier to keep your head in the game after a pretty big shellacking in game 2.
Zayaban, once again, remember, EG is the one with side selection, so they wanted to run it back on red side.
And this time just taking out that LeBlanc from Emenes while C9 removing the turret. I have no idea what's happening.
Someone is just supporting their friend who is like, I want to go to this. And it's like, okay.
I want to go to a show. I got just the thing.
I'm in Los Angeles for show business. I got it. Come to the LCS. All right, Ari got rid of JoJo's arguably best champion. It's Jojover?
It's Jover.
It's Jojo.
Jojober.
Does that mean that it's a good JoJo sign or a bad JoJo sign? Like he's about to go home.
Yeah, it could go either way.
Last.
I think we're going to see more Renekton.
Well,
game.
most likely. I think the Jayce is the other thing. What they want to do with it. It's 2 Jayce games in a row for JoJo. I would love to see him on something not Jayce, as much as I think it's been fine. Maybe.
Speaking, you were saying you think Jayce is like one of the most OP champs right now. Why is that?
I mean, I think Jayce just scales really well. He doesn't really have poor lane matchups, as well as he synergizes really well with the current meta junglers, right? So like Maokai, Ivern, even Sejuani's okay. But we are in North America.
Okay.
Land of the free.
Home of the
Home of
Brave.
the Jayce.
Yeah,
Home of the Jayce.
Home of the Jayce.
Home of the Jayce.
So far, Jayce is 0% winner in this series. We'll see where C9 takes us. I mean, I think the Maokai should be coming out from Blaber. He is 15-0.
He
I think we said that so many times.
Yeah.
He's 15-0. Maybe, you know, the streak would be broken here.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up because both Ivern and Maokai are up. And obviously C9 prioing the Jayce, which can be paired with either jungle champ. Although I also expect Blaber to go with the Maokai.
But I think the awkward thing now is that like EG can't really pick these junglers like Ivern or Maokai, right? Just because there's no more mid AD options unless JoJo's opting for the Yone. So I think most likely JoJo's going to be playing an AP champ like Nico or maybe Lissandra if he wants more playmaking.
There we go. The Blaber Maokai locked in again. By the way, if you guys didn't know, he's 13-0 on Maokai.
He's 13-0.
13-0, I believe it is.
Undefeated career.
Yep. So
All time.
Celebrations for Cloud9 that they have their best champion. This meme can
Right
continue.
over Emenes'
Yeah.
face.
He says, "Hooray! I have a Maokai in my back pocket."
He does.
Slams the Kai'Sa. Most likely going top in the Renekton, though technically this is flex.
Yeah, Emenes has played maybe more Kai'Sa than Fudge. I know that was a huge flex pick for C9 pretty much ever since they got him, but Jayce top in Renekton would be rather spicy, especially with the Sejuani. So yeah, it's probably just standard for C9.
Yeah, and then on the flip side, kind of what you were talking about, Spico, where you probably don't want them locking in an Ivern as opposed to, or at least they say, we're picking this edge, we're still going for like early playmaking around the Renekton, we're gonna try that again, now with Sheiden in.
Silas? Silas banned by C9 maybe? Anytime I see Maokai, I just think Silas.
Nah, I think the lane matchups are not great for Silas here, most likely. We'll see. I mean, I think Jayce is a little bit higher pressure than like the Tristana when you can just all in and steal the buster shot and like insta-give someone. Like the Jayce transformation is kind of meh for the Silas. So I'd be surprised if they won it, though. Like you said, Maokai is a very powerful ult to steal.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, I think I would still bet Silas. Just because it's like a really good combo with Sejuani as well as it's Jojopyun's comfort.
Yeah.
Usually when people are, pressure or it's down 0-2, you want to play something comfort.
You guys called it.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the Silas man.
You also called the Yone Ben too.
Yeah.
You're good at this,
I mean, he's been in the few drafts himself.
Maybe I could, play pro, potentially.
Insert the Spider-Man 1 meme. I'm something of a pro player myself.
But no, I think it's going to be difficult for Jojo to pick a champ that's great with Sejuani, right? So most likely he's just going to play something independent, like Azir, for example.
I don't give you credit for that one.
Well, I was getting there.
He was about to say it. He definitely wasn't feeling until he saw it locked in. No, but it's interesting to see the pivot. We were looking up Jojopyun's Azir stats actually right before this. He's, I think, 5 wins, 6 losses against it. So we'll see if he can pull this dub out here. Going for a lot more like range and poke this time around. Yes, Sejuani can go in Renekton short range, but the marksmen this time are both a lot more AP and poke focus. I assume that the Kai'Sa will go for the Luden's build.
The Rell is real interesting for me here because, I mean, Rell would have been very good with Kai'Sa, so it's a bit of a denial pick. I'm wondering what Berserker is going to play the combos with Rell here. Varus is banned. I like that ban from EG a lot.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Ezreal.
Just a Kai'Sa Ezreal, kind of like Independence. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of the Ezreals answering to Kai'Sa recently, despite the fact that if Kai'Sa gets ahead, she gets like assassinate potential if Ezreal's ever alone.
Yeah, it used to be considered a Kai'Sa like is a counter to Ezreal.
But I think without the people wanting to play Nautilus quite as much, the Kai'Sa Nautilus combination of getting a lot of easy push into Ezreal is the other annoying thing, because then Ezreal can't land Mystic shots through the wave. So big change-ups. All
right, Spica, since you're leaving us after this game, how do these drafts play out?
Honestly, I really like EG's draft. I feel like plays a lot to their strengths. While I think putting Sheiden on Sejuani is a little weird, since he's known to play more carries and things like that. I think EG Spalling definitely got their comfort pick. I think Jojo is comfortable on Azir as well. And Revenge is not going against the 2 and 18.
He's not going up against the Renekton.
He's not going up against the Renekton. He is the Renekton. If you can't beat them, just join them.
All right, Speaker calls it here. Reverse sweep for EG.
Oh, I didn't say that.
He said that we're going to casters to game 3.
Which is gracias, y'all. And as Speaker called it, I'm in the same boat. You know, if you're subbing in Sheiden, I'm thinking, okay, let's bring the X Factor. Let's see like a Viego game. Let's see a Graves game. Let's see a Kindred game. But, you know, going on Sejuani, I'm not going to lie, Kobe, it doesn't really inspire confidence on the side of Evil Geniuses. Cloud9, they have obnoxious poke with the Ezreal and the Jayce. They have the Maokai for objective control setup. I mean, it's going to be so tough for Evil Geniuses. And it seems like they're just trying to resort to just a front-to-back composition.
I mean, Mythy called it when he was talking about the EG jungle swaps. He's like, I mean, they're the same. They're literally playing the same champs. It's Sejuani and Ivern, and it doesn't really matter. To me, it's more about if you brought a 6th person and you're down 0-2 in a series, you make a change. You know, it's backs against the walls here for EG. Elimination matches from here on out versus the #1 team in the league. So they just want to change something up. And maybe a fresh pair of hands, a fresh pair of eyes will be able to be that change that they need. Sejuani plus Renekton, of course, is always massive in 2v2 duels. And they're going to go for a topside invade. While we see the Cloud9 defense on our screen, Sheiden took the opportunity to go get a ward here on Wolves. And Sejuani plus Renekton can kill pretty much anybody. Kind of annoying that K'Sante has so many escapes and has the Unstoppable available to him as well, but still very strong. Wow, they're getting close, real nice and close
Emenes
here.
might be forced to flash. He tries to sidestep the grand entrance. He's taking a lot of damage on the exit here. He's still taking so much. He might just be forced to TP back.
These are two of the most aggro, headstrong laners. So Emenes is walking up. He's like, oh my God, Jojo's letting me get this massive trade on him level 1. And Jojo's like, yeah, I have a Rakan in my back pocket. That's why the Azir is walking forward in you. On to you. Eyla, gonna head right back down to you.
Well, Jojo has 2 health pod advantage while Emenes is chugging on his 1 and only. If Sheiden is able to find his way towards the mid lane, and whether it's a kill or at least forcing a flash summoner spell out of Emenes, then this can set up Jojo's lane for success. A pretty drastic comparison to what happened in Game 2 when Cloud9 was focusing all their efforts on Jojo early on.
Gets the melee form trade at least a little bit back there, and then phase rush away. What you're looking for at least before you go take your teleport. Emenes just trying to squeeze a little bit more damage out before he has to expend his cooldown because of the level 1 big deficit that Eyla put him in as far as health goes. So already the Jayce using teleport, and he's got to have a pitiful buy. What, maybe like a refillable potion or something? Is you do not have much money at this stage in the game. Yeah, that's it. Ouch. 5 CS, refillable potion, door ends here for Jayce, and guess what? Sejuani's back on you.
Emenes with the acceleration gate, though, gives him enough movement speed to be able to get away before Sheiden would have been in range for a Q flash. And at the very most, probably would have just traded flash for flash if Emenes is able to get out. Oh, Jojo taking a lot of damage. Gets the shield up from the E. And now it looks like Jojo at some point will be forced to at least chug on this last health potion pot before he is looking for a teleport reset of his own.
Meanwhile, we got the support deep invade. Love that look from Zven, actually. He went beyond just getting the blue buff plus Gromp ward here. He wanted to walk all the way through to make sure they know Sejuani's on top side. So now you can see Emenes continues to hover the bottom side of the map, and they know it's fully cleared here. Zven going to check every room first. All right, clear. Everybody, bottom side, we're fine. Full recall now. Maokai got off his full clear. Blaber can keep up his Maokai stats. Keep that CS high. Play for the team. He's got his first strike, building towards his demonic. The most annoying of the Maokai saplings, double stun.
Forcing the flash out of Unforgiven from the crash down of Zven. Nicely done there from Berserker and Zven. Good trade. And with that advantage, I imagine that Blaber on the next cycle of his camps can look towards the bottom side of the map, see if they can find anything there, as Revenge has a wave that he's building up. Fudge still has flash of his own, but Sheiden finds the Q flash. They could have looked to at least burn or trade summoner spells off of Fudge, as this wave is now pushing towards Revenge.
Yeah, gonna have to be a little bit careful. He does have flash.
Checks the brush, and it's an instant flash, and Fudge immediately regrets. But he knew that he had to find vision, and it's just the right timing for Sheiden to be there.
Yeah, you can tell. Ward coming out too. Flashing, dropping the ward down. Oh, I'm out. I'm safe. A little bit jump scare there coming out of the brush with the slightly suboptimal ward dropped in lane, but not going to have too big of ramifications. Teleport right back out. Ben's going to get his recall off as Maokai steals away the sapling. So Blaber always doing these small things.
Oh, Sheiden just flashed. Blaber is also forced to flash as well. Sheiden was ready to battle. He had Jojo with lane prio right on top. Emenes still low on HP as he's trying to fight right on back to make sure that Blaber can get on out. There's still no summoner spells for either junglers here. Blaber, can he look for an escape route? He can't! He can't even W over to the Raptors. This first blood for Sheiden, looking for one more. Emenes forced to flash.
Sheiden chasing Blaber all the way from the Raptors that he was in the process of stealing, flashing on him while Jojo was ahead in health in the mid lane one, meant that there was nowhere for Blaber to go. He tries to get the vision with his sapling over the Raptor wall to get vision of a sapling to try and W to one, but they pin him against the wall. Sheiden locks him down. There you go. Switch up the jungle, and they've got the first blood. 400 gold lead. Here we get to see how he blew it. And yeah, he chases him right off these Raptors, blows Blaber's flash, and he goes mid towards Emenes, but Jojo dodges this shock blast by going in onto Blaber. Sheiden calling to him, yo, this guy's got no flash. And then he just barely gets off the last auto into stun. Blaber can't get that vision there. Jojo's able to help chop him down, and evil geniuses, they need that. Coming off the way that this series has gone, they've got to be low on morale. The way that they lost game number one after they had such a strong lead for the majority of the game, and then got crushed in game number two. Now they get a little fresh change up here, swap of players, and a little injection of first blood money. This could be what they need to revitalize the series.
Potential mentality changes. Jojo knows that no flash on Emenes means it's an easy scoop to whoop onto Emenes, and Sheiden takes another kill on this battle board.
Yeah, take a picture there. Jayce mid-swing, stuns him in the air. Jojo gives him the thumbs up. Huge rewards for EG playing around mid lane. This time they're the ones camping there. Eyla was in mid lane level 1, getting him the health lead, forcing the early teleports back from Emenes, changing the way that the lane is gonna go. Then Sheiden, kind of a fortunate chase there where he found Blaber on his Raptors and then chased him out, but man, Jojo's gonna enjoy the rewards all the same. Even though he's not getting kill credit, 2 turret plates picked up for him on the Azir mid. Definitely capable of carrying these team fights, despite the range that Cloud9 will bring later with their double pseudo poke with the Ezreal Jayce.
And for Evil Geniuses, we were already looking at how this series was panning out, that Emenes having a big game 2 and a game-saving TP flank off of game 1, which would put Cloud9 back into a winning position. And that is why they're 2-0 in the series split. The fact that Evil Genius is now trying to pivot towards their strongest member on this squad shows that maybe with the switch up, even if it's the same champion for Sheiden versus Armeo, the mentality change is already showing a big difference.
All right, let's see now, because Berserker...
Oh, wait, Berserker, he knows that Unforgiven still doesn't have flash from before. There's no more Mystic Shot. Berserker doesn't have flash, but if he can get an arcane shift, there it is! Lines it true! And Berserker gets the solo kill on Unforgiven.
Dang, that is real rough for Unforgiven. Oh my goodness, Berserker just made you look silly down there. Absolutely styled on Cloud9. They're not done. Berserker able to pick it up himself. 1v1s on bottom side. The team is going to split Herald for Dragon because of the split sides of the map. So EG are actually pretty happy to get their Rift Herald, see if they can use their Rift Herald mid and just keep snowballing their Azir. It is for sure super rough for them on the bottom side of the map. I mean, Berserker has just been so good. Jojo's at it again though.
And here's the repeat. This time Jojo spends his flash so he can get in range for the scoop. And Emenes is gone. This time a kill going over to Jojo.
Yeah, give him Herald too. Get this man some money. Jojo is the player for EG. Let's see how fed they can get him, because Berserker is going to be the one trying to put a stop to it. He's a hope for Cloud9. He already had the CS lead on bottom side. Then he wins the 1v1. See what happens once he gets towards his Trinity Force, once he gets his tier stacking up. He's definitely been the one, probably the most reliable single player on Cloud9 throughout the entire time that he has been here for them.
Coming in spring 2022, Berserker has shown continuously and consistently why he is one of the, if not the best ADC in the entire league. The first All-Pro, I mean, it's there for a reason. And even with stronger AD carries coming into the league this year, Berserker still finds a way to remain on top. And it's just the way that he is able to pilot himself in the early laning phase, but most importantly, the team fights and the skirmishes. He is always playing on the edge in the line of going too far and still maximizing amount of damage that he needs to. Berserker is going to be such a huge raid boss for EG to take down later in the game.
Meanwhile, I just want to see more mid focus here from Evil Geniuses. They're the ones who got to make the big moves. You know, they're the ones must-win game. They've got a really nice gold lead here on Jojo. Over 1,200 gold over Emenes in the mid lane. Crown is finished for him, so he can be super aggressive. He can charge into a lot of these plays and rely on that damage reduction. I know there was a lot of commentary on playing Crown into poke teams with Ezreal and Jayce both being poke champions. So we will track how effective the Crown passive is and exactly how much damage it does end up reducing, because yes, a Shock Blast or a Mystic Shock will, thank you for the demonstration, poke it off and reduce the damage taken.
The next dragon coming up here as well, 2.5 minutes. The fact that Cloud9 were able to get the first one off the back of their lane prio and the awesome 1v1 outplay from Berserker means once again they are in the driver's seat when it comes to dragon stacking. But now Evil Geniuses, they will have the advantage of bringing over an accelerated Azir into the fray.
All right, everyone trying to play around him. Sheiden and Eyla holding hands here to block and guard for King Jojo. Emperor Jojo here desires alone time with the tower, and that's what he gets. Sheiden and Eyla blocking Zven and Blaber here. Pushing them out.
Eyla looking for the knock-up on the Zven. Gets the crash on over the wall. Doesn't have to burn the flash, but it is Nature's Grasp from Blaber that is expended to keep his support alive. Dragon's still not available for another minute.
Gotta be a little bit careful because Berserker has been drawn over for this as well. Unforgiven does have ult on the Kai'Sa, so can join from the river, and everybody just decides to back off after that.
Ben, what are you doing? Are you looking
He's
for
cooking.
an Eyla? Okay, I'll let him cook. They've won 2 games so far. Meanwhile, top lane is still just an island. Oh, the flash from Revenge, making sure that he did not get put closer to the tower for that all-out.
Yeah, he could see it. He could see the juggle as it's about to happen there with the pushback and the ultimate available for Fudge. But all the same, that is a isolated flash blown 1v1. So Fudge now can set up for a Berserker gank.
I've never seen a ganking marksman before, but Berserker wants a kill on a flashless Crocodile. The Dominus has given Revenge a little bit of HP to play with, but if he keeps himself at range, the cleanse, the stun, and Fudge is the one that gets the kill.
Berserker, Berserker. He's like, all right, team, don't worry. I'm taking matters into my own hands. AD carry starts to affect the map. They swap him up to top side. He ganks and gets the kill after Fudge is able to solo blow the flash.
I wonder if that's because Fudge beat him in the 1v1. He's like, hey, you owe me 1 gank in this series.
I think it's because the rest of the map is on fire.
I
Mid
mean,
lane,
sure.
mid lane is a black hole for them. It is almost gone. That tower is almost destroyed. And Berserker is like, you know what? Jeez, I got to do everything myself. I will 1v1 kill my lane, then I will go gank other lanes and try and pull it back for Cloud9. The EG at the moment, they are continuing their snowball ahead. Sejuani using the lead as well pretty effectively. Able to get Dragon split here now for EG as they rotate Jojo now down to the bottom side after having done most of the work towards the mid tower.
And nice for EG to be able to pick up the second dragon of the game so that Cloud9 do not get the dragon stacking win con for themselves here. It is still a gold lead for EG thanks to all the efforts that they poured into the mid lane, as Jojo has an obscene amount of gold over almost everyone else other than Berserker.
Yeah, what's this one doing up here? There's one blue line up with all the red lines up there. It's really a Berserker. Never mind. We got another little bit of a trade, but nobody is down here. Everybody else is up at Rift Herald. Want to see if they actually contest here for EG, because they've got mid lane push. Unforgiven can push in the mid lane wave here while they finish it off. And EG, this thing is already down.
It's too tricky for EG. They don't have Jojo. He would have to teleport in, but he is not in a position to look for one. And Rift Herald secured by Cloud9. But on the back half of it, EG looks like they were able to push into the mid turret, finally finishing it off thanks to Unforgiven looking for first brick. So now EG, we have 3 minutes and a half go before the next dragon pops up. You know, what are the next objective focus here for both teams?
I mean, for Cloud9, honestly, I think we need to get the Muramana for Berserker. So he's got his tier stacking up. Looking for a little bit of extra gold here to get to his 2-item power spike where Ezreal really starts to shine. Once you get that transformation, then your poke really starts to land. Emenes is deep behind, okay? So it really is going to be all about Berserker for the foreseeable future for Cloud9 until they can get Emenes caught back up here on the Jayce. As for EG, they got to keep their heads down here. Mid tower's down, so it makes it really easy. You use mid push to go into the side lanes here. Depending on which neutral objective is up, you get your vision up and you start to starve Blaber of his camps. Biggest thing for Blaber, always trying to stay high CS. Never mind, but gank on bottom side.
Glacial Prison, Eyla waiting out for a flash before committing the grand entrance, but no opportunity for one. Emenes just walks it on out.
Yeah, you really want to bleed this Jojo lead into the other members here. So post up that mid lane priority. The tower's already down. Use the Azir tower, push into the jungle, take away Blaber's camps.
Zven might be caught out as here. Permafrost. And then Eyla has the charm for the quickness. Unforgiven. Nice Magnus Storm buys some time, but it's not enough time as Revenge with the teleport comes in to take the kill under the tower. And Emenes has got nowhere to run. Running under the tower for protection, but Sheiden can take this one up as Unforgiven should be able to pick up the kill. Gets a ward into the brush, so they find eyes onto Emenes and get vision down. Sheiden trying to slow him down with the Arctic Assault. Voidseeker, they're making EG really work for this one. A Voidseeker
running the marathon.
Another available as well. Emenes flashing over the wall. No way! He's gonna get out! Arctic Assault over the wall. Can he find him in the brush? No! Emenes doesn't die, baby!
You always remember this as the day you almost caught Captain Emenes. Of course, ignore the fact you already caught him 2 other times in this game, but nice escape there from him using his flash and his teleports. There may have been a bit of a mid-diff early on, but at least he escapes with his life, and he's got enough money in his pockets to buy a Duskblade Raafaa. So the hopes for that the comeback here for Cloud9, they're keeping it alive, stoking the embers of the fire. Fudge on top side, he's now the one that has to play a little bit more cautiously, but he walks right into Eyla, and there's quite a few members up here. Very tanky and evasive champion, though.
Fudge still has flash and all out, so he could always reposition himself and isolate at least one member, so not in much danger. Gonna resume back to the laning side. Meanwhile, Maokai or Blaber has dropped the Rift Herald. Gonna look for
They want to dive Jojo. Look at this. There's 2 members here looking for a dive.
Nature's Grasp. Zven is also ready. Doesn't need Magnet Storm, just looks for the Q stun. True shot for Rell from across the map is is what takes Jojo out in the end as Berserker adds another kill to his list.
That is hilarious. Berserker literally all over the map. He solo kills bottom lane, he ganks top lane, he snipes down while the rest of his team is tower diving to make sure the tower dive goes okay for them as well. And honestly, that's where they want the money. We said their main objective is to get him to his Muramana. He's got the Manamune, so he just needs 60 more charges up here. 360 to complete to get it transforming. And Cloud9, they avoid the EG swipe on bottom side, even with the early lead from Evil Geniuses. Look at that. Cloud9 have almost clawed it all the way back.
Evil Geniuses, it just seems like even with the lead that they were able to give to Jojo, Cloud9 withstood the storm, and now the game is pretty much dead even in terms of gold. Third Dragon is alive as well. EG are the first one here.
And now let's see. Main objective number 1 for Cloud9. Poke off that Crown of the Shattered Queen from Jojo, preemptive to the fight. Fudge is trying to get it.
Zven Hex Flash over the wall. Can't get out with the crash down. They canceled him, and they can just look for an easy kill right on top of him. The Magna Storm is already wasted. And Cloud9, they're not going to get a chance to look for the Dragon. That's EG's.
Zven, hello? Berserker's doing everything he can to carry this. Lane partner goes right in, gives him a freebie. Now Cloud9 have to seed the rest of the map. I mean, Blaber takes away the...
Ooh, with Berserker flash to flash over the wall. Unforgiven committed the killer instinct there, and Emenes is caught up. Jojopyun over the wall! Finds a massive shuffle onto 2. Berserker and Emenes are taken out of the fight. Fudge goes all out, but he cannot withstand EG. And right at 20 minutes, EG are going to turn right into the Baron.
Have you ever seen a devastating domino rally like that? The Rell goes in, dies inside the Dragon Pit, then the rest of the team tries to still make something out of it. They get mid-tower, but then staying around to get mid-tower and Raptors cost them the rest of their lives and a Baron. It's like massive, massive sunk cost fallacy there. And now we're in a situation where Baroned up Evil Geniuses are looking like they're gonna push us to continue this series, Raafaa.
Yeah, they're almost at 4,000 gold already, even before the Baron has been used. As we take a look back at the replay, I mean, the interrupt on the crash down, that was crucial.
I mean, Zven went in thinking he had a freebie out there, but you do not. You can definitely interrupt the crash down multiple ways, and Sheiden is able to do it. Arctic Assault, they knock him down, they get the kill, and then the rest of the team got greedy. They wanted to get mid-tower, they wanted to get Raptors. They get caught sticking around. Jojo makes him pay. He slides in, gets the push back here, collects the extra gold.
God, what an angle.
All of them. And you got the flash from Fudge, and he ults, but he ends up going down as well. Massive, massive stuff here from Evil Geniuses. Huge domino effect off that one play. And EG back on top, 4,000 gold now. What a swing. That's also 100 kills for his LCS career for Forgiven. Thank you very much. I will take those.
And he's only played one split, so he's racking them up pretty fast here in LCS. As Evil Geniuses, the last time we saw them have a gold lead this large against Cloud9, it was game 1. And so Evil Geniuses doing their best to make sure that they maintain this lead, and they do everything they can to correctly close this game 1 out. As Zven gets caught out, but Eyla goes down. He's still surviving. Zven might go down to one more auto attack, but he walks on out. As they look for the turnaround, Jojo's the one that disappears. Berserker's on a tear. They rip Unforgiven to shreds. Sheiden is gone, and Berserker might just pick himself up just before Revenge slices and dices him out. That one goes over to Blaber, but Cloud9 just take 2,000 gold away from the lead that EG had.
This game is actual insanity in action. Holy moly. All right, we're gonna get the scramble in the jungle here. Immediately, they go in onto Zven. Look how low he gets. They sweep him back. They use everything. The Azir ult, they're all swept in. Berserker comes in and blows up Eyla. Huge burst damage out of Berserker, and then he's gonna chase them off. Fully stacks his Conquer. Watch him just walk into the rest of the team, because Kai'Sa jumped in, immediately got hit by Fudge. Fudge taking care of him with the K'Sante ultimate there. And I thought Berserker was actually going to be able to just walk into the center of the fight and then be able to clean it up and walk out. They do end up bursting him down there, revenge on the Renekton. But you can't help but laugh at this. This is hilarious from both sides. Coaching staff, head in hands.
Yeah. And Cloud9 have the benefit of being 2-0 up in the series, so, you know, the way that this game is panning out, even if it does go EG's way somehow, and then the Cloud9 is like, wow, I mean, we're still competitive with them, even in our moments of where we're losing the game.
All right, I feel like it's kind of similar to last game where Berserker's like, hey guys, focus up. All right, focus up. Doing my best here. Ezreal has no summoner spells as well this time around, but since Cloud9 just got massive influx of gold, they literally chopped that gold lead in half in the last, what, 1 minute there with that team fight. From 4K down to 2 here, and they move in, they take away some jungle camps, but they left the top side open, and Evil Genius is split pushing there. Jojo on the tower finishes it, so Azir gets solo tower gold up here, while the rest of Cloud9 trying to keep this pushing, and they're really trying to do this to keep that vision for the dragon that's approaching. They sacrifice that top tower, that split push, in favor of actually retaining vision control and sapling control of all these brushes, since Mountain Dragon coming up is pretty important for them, and they feel like they can still fight it.
Eyla finds himself over the wall. Zven is going to spot it out. Emenes is now having the collapse. And,
Combo.
oh, Eyla gets clipped. Forced to flash. And is able to battle dance over the wall. Nature's Grasp now onto the front line of Evil Geniuses. Sheiden forced a flash out. Revenge gets knocked up. Still has a flash to play with, but doesn't get to use it in time as he gets clipped by Blaber. And now it's the man advantage for Cloud9. They can just turn towards the dragon and take it for free.
Yeah, they've got dragon for sure now. So many resources burned here. Eyla got caught inside that raptor pit. The flash happens. Has to fully use everything he has to escape. And then Unforgiven on the backside too. Couldn't join in on that. It's too big of a lead for Cloud9 at the very beginning of that fight for EG to try and turn it back around. No Renekton ultimate, no Sejuani ultimate left for it, so big move here for Cloud9 to get Dragon number 2 for themselves, even with this gold lead in their faces. They don't care. Berserker's items, he's the one who's got gold. It's concentrated gold onto him. He's performing. The front line actually set him up this time around, so able to get what they needed out of it. And they've got Emenes trying to catch back up. We're keeping eyes on that Jayce if he was going to be able to catch back up. And at least he's got his Muramana transformed now. So the Shock Blast at least will leave a little bit of a mark here.
Yeah. The fact that Emenes was able to withstand all the pressure that Evil Geniuses gave to him early on and is now still at a strong point in the game just really attests to how well he has played the series so far, and he and Berserker are going to be the main ones that are putting out the damage against EG.
I mean, he's definitely not strong now. He's trying, but...
Oh, good Glacial Prison right onto Emenes! Why does it always happen? We hype up Emenes and he
yeah, I mean, he definitely also was not strong yet. He was 2 items. He was trying to catch up. Azir is still multi items ahead here, and they make the sweep. Now it's Evil Geniuses with control over the Baron too. They don't have the Azir ult. They don't have the Sejuani ult. How much work can Berserker do, Raafaa?
Let's see it. Let's find out. Berserker still has both of his summoner spells to play with, and he is Ezreal, so he's very slippery to lock down for Evil Geniuses. They've already used Sedge ulti. They would have to depend on Ayla's engage to lock him down, but he's already forced off, and he's done so much damage to the rest of EG that they're forced off the Baron. Zven can just look for the easy Magnet Sword, and Berserker just gets to fire one mystic shot after another. He's cleaning and decimating the ranks of EG. Berserker even burns the flash just to find where Revenge went, but Cloud9 are just fine going through the top side of the map.
And the cloud erupts. They know it. The question is, how much work can Berserker do? And the answer is all of it. Cloud9 now on the inhibitor towers. They're running it straight to the base.
Inhibitor tower falls. Another inhibitor falls. Are they going to push for the end? There's 16 seconds on Jojo and Unforgiven, 9 seconds on Sheiden. They might just look to do it right here, right now. Revenge is gone. Ayla's gone. Cloud9 going to start hitting onto the Nexus towers. There are multiple members low, but they will just push for the very end. 1 second on Jojo, 1 second on Unforgiven, but Cloud9, you don't need to be an Evil Geniuses to just be better. Cloud9 will advance in the upper bracket, book their ticket to Worlds, and book their ticket to New Jersey.
Clean 28-minute victory. Clean 3-0. Nothing to see here. Let's move along, folks. Swept them up, Cloud9. Oh my goodness. We had quite a few moments in this series. Ups and downs, the seesaw, the pendulum, and in the end, Cloud9 3-0. Wow. Berserker the whole time, doing so much. He solo kills his lane opponent on bottom side, goes up and ganks the top side, ults down for the dive on bottom side, then jumps in for the team fights, able to carry it. Huge momentum now for Cloud9. 3-0, starting off their playoffs. Wow. That's one of the funniest. Yeah. That's one of the funniest 3-0s that I've ever seen. That's all I'll say.
I mean, it was complete dominance after the end of game 1. Game 2, they come in, they completely wreck JoJo's lane, set up Emenes for success, and just barreled down the game afterwards. And in game 3, it even seemed more push and pull, but just this opening window created by Berserker gives Zven the confidence to look for the engage and clean them all up.
Yeah, while he was kiting, he tagged Unforgiven with 2Q, or he tagged Azir with the 2Qs, then Unforgiven with the ultimate. Then Zven's able to charge in, throw his body at them to just hold them down for Berserker. And look at them. I love this about Cloud9 the most. They know after winning a team fight like this, they immediately beeline to end the game. They do not mess around with stalling it out. 28-minute victory there after chasing them down. They don't stop for Baron or anything. Complete end angle, finishing it up 3-0. And this is an early day compared to what we had previously.
Yeah, I mean, Cloud9 are now showing the rest of the league, no matter what, if you're going through the upper bracket, like Golden Guardians or Energy potentially, or anyone coming through the lower bracket, if this is the form that Cloud9 are in, it might be looking like a three-peat if they carry this momentum all the way to New Jersey. As we got Blaber on stage, and we're getting an interview ready as well. And I just want to, once again, you know, a lot of huge moments for multiple members on this team. Blaber on the road, looking for his 5th title with Cloud9, as Gabby will now be joining Blaber in just a few moments here. But even Emenes, someone that we were also highlighting, looking for a 2nd title with Cloud9 as well.
Yeah, it definitely meant a lot to him the first time around. Emotional stuff from them. So I'm trying to hide the preview right now. But yeah, Cloud9 off of a very rambunctious 3-0.
Yeah. We're still getting ready on stage for a minute. One last shout out as well. As you called it out, you know, Emenes, not the best showing in game 3 because there was a lot of focus towards him, but Berserker, man, like huge step up as well. There's just been a lot of, you know, chances that Cloud9 have taken on multiple of these players. And it looks like the interview is ready, so we'll be joining Gabby and Blaber for our Verizon post-game interview.
Thank you so much, Raafaa. I've got Blaber with me. First of all, did you know that you are 14-0 on Maokai?
Yeah, I was going to go to my phone and tweet something about it, but, you know, I was pulled here, but I do know I'm 14-0 on Maokai.
Just making sure. I didn't know if you were keeping up with that at all. But I do want to ask, how did this series go compared to your expectations? Because it was a 3-0, but there were some tight moments.
Yes!
I'm glad you could make it.
Welcome back.
Yes. Well, I was actually just asking Blaber about, you know, this series, so I want to get your thoughts on it too. Was it tight in your opinion?
Honestly, I didn't expect the series to be very close. I thought we'd 3-0 them, not like this.
Yeah, unless inting Blaber with Kazakhs. Maybe you hate winning, right?
No, I won. Did you see Berserker cleanse?
I mean, that's also true. Yeah. But did you see Berserker flash with Ezreal?
I don't remember.
I agree.
Just all those moments forgotten. What do you think about your own performance last game and the ones before?
It was close to get player of this series, but I don't know with my Jayce. Maybe you guys don't believe, but in Scream I always 1v9 with Jayce, so...
It's not the Maokai, guys, trust me.
Not the 14-0 Maokai,
oh.
just the Jayce.
So not my carry, right? In Scream?
No, I said not my Maokai.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's you.
Okay. I agree.
Emenes, I know that we got to catch up a little bit before the series. Seemed like you were in good spirits, very good mood, but also saying that you practiced a lot, maybe even too much going into this week. What were your thoughts on how you're preparing for playoffs compared to regular season?
I think nothing special, no?
Just lots and lots and lots of practice.
I agree.
I do have a very, very important question for you, though. There are big stakes on this matchup. It means that Cloud9 has qualified to Worlds in Korea. When we had interviews with you earlier in spring, you seemed so excited about that. Can you tell me your thoughts on this news?
I think my parents will watch this in their hospital, maybe. I think this time it will be they open their hospital and try to work. Yeah, I think it's actually good. Actually good.
Yeah. Good feelings about it.
I don't know the word in English, but like in Korea we say 효도. Something like good thing for my parents. I think this time will be pretty good because they will see me in Korea in stage.
Have you been thinking about your parents a lot when performing here in the LCS?
No?
No?
I mean, I'm just focused game, you know?
Which, Blaber, I feel like it's not a bad thing to hear that your mid laner is focused on the game, but I know for you, this also means going into the finals weekend, the chances at a three-peat. What do you think of Cloud9's chances for a trophy lift this time compared to the previous splits when it was achieved?
Mid-cap?
I think in the regular season, we didn't look that dominant. Maybe not even today, we didn't look that dominant, but I honestly don't think we're going to drop a game this playoffs. I think we're a lot better than the other teams, and hopefully we're able to show it in the next 2 best-of-5s we're going to have to play.
Yeah, there's more best-of-5s to come. Emenes, you just said it's going to be mid-gap. Are there any mids that you fear that you might potentially face? Because you'll have to play either Golden Guardians or Energy depending on how that series goes.
I mean, actually GG, I guess. I really don't see how they can lose, but yeah, I think Energy is actually not bad. So maybe if Palafox can stop like Gory and Lieber, their like mid duo combo, then it'll be pretty good to watch. Unless I think GG 3-0.
We do love a good to watch series, that's for sure, but we'll have to see. Blaber, what do you think? How is it going to go?
I think it'll probably be closer than Emenes thinks. But yeah, I think GG are going to win too. I think their mid-jungle support have been playing pretty well, and I think they'll take over and win.
We'll see. And Emenes, before we go, just any last thoughts after the series has been done? First of the run for Cloud9, Worlds down the line. What would you like to say for those cheering you on?
See you, Korea.
You will see both of these fine gentlemen in Korea. Congratulations on your victory today and keeping that Maokai at a clean 14-0.
Thank you.
For now, we are going to kick it to a break. On the other side, the LCS Lounge will break it all down from our series today. Stay tuned.
With Verizon's new My Plan, I get exactly what I want and only pay for what I need.
Now I'm in charge of my plan. Introducing My Plan from Verizon. You get exactly what you want and only pay for what you need. And it all starts at just $30. It's your Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
Welcome back to the LCS Lounge. 3-0.
30-minute handshake, like I predicted.
You predicted 3-0. I predicted 3-0 for the correct team. And player of the series is Berserker. Probably one of the big reasons it was a 3-0 was that Ezreal performance in Game 3. Whew. But across the series, nearly flawless.
He had a great series. The first 2 games, I think you can say Emenes was maybe more impactful in those wins, given especially the matchup that he was in. But then when Emenes had that bit of a shaky game 3, Berserker was 1v9ing. I love Kobe's call about the fact that Berserker solo kills bot, ganks top, shoots an ult from mid to bot lane to snipe a kill, like just all over the map.
Yeah, I mean, Berserker is someone who's just so aware, regardless of what he's playing, of like how to pilot that champion like classically, but then to your point, like also in very unique ways. I absolutely think he's the best Ashe player we have in the LCS. And when you see like why, for example, is LCK prioritizing Ashe so heavily, you watch Berserker play it here and it's like, oh, okay, this champ's actually really good. Here's his Ezreal.
Look, he autos that to get the Q. Then he kills that minion. So unnecessary, but just like, and then the angle through the minions is like mechanically played perfectly. Like you didn't need to get that farm.
You don't want to miss CS.
Yeah, it's just, I respect it. It's just optimize everything.
Everything counts.
Yep. And this kill goes to Fudge, but obviously it's Berserker with the gank.
That cleanse though.
He didn't want to risk it. I also respect that. He's like, I do not want to get 2v1 or 1v2. And then this fight, I don't understand. Like, no one's hitting him. There's all these other things going on. He's just pelting away.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they're hitting other people. They're dashing around.
And then he just dies to Renekton.
Well, he shifted on top of them there to cut off the escape because he was ganking. Because Ezreal's a frontliner, as you know.
Oh, Berserker, what a great series. First team All-Pro.
Hello.
Well-deserved player of the series. Congrats, Berserker, you did it. Moving on to the next round. So not only are they going to Korea, they're also going to be going to Newark. They're in finals weekend, either in the championship match or in the one before that. Loser bracket final if they end up losing, but they got to be feeling pretty good about that. Let's pull up the bracket to see where everything is cracking out at the moment. GG versus Energy is our final game of the weekend tomorrow. That will seal another Worlds participant and another participant in Newark.
It's been interesting hearing other players give credit to NRG. Like, not because I don't think NRG are good, but because, like, we were talking about them going into the TL series where, like, either of these teams can look really good or make a lot of mistakes. But then out of the woodwork, we've heard other really strong players being like, actually, guys, NRG is, like, really, really good. I think this series is going to be a lot closer than people expect. So I'm very curious to see what happens tomorrow.
This also gives us our first known matchup of next week, which is TL versus EG. I think EG lost this game in this series. People are going to flame them a lot because they had 2 very winnable games in game 1 and game 3, where they had like these Barons, they had these games that they should have won that they lost. And I think it's very easy to say that they're horrible and stupid and how could this happen, but they still got monstrous leads against Cloud9 and going up against Team Liquid, I do think that they still come out the favorite despite, you know, TL just winning a very dominant series over 100 Thieves. Both teams have some mid-game issues, and it's going to be a really close game series, I think.
Yeah, the number 1 seed could have been down 2-1. Obviously, they weren't. And they did 3-0.
They are the number 1 seed,
so
but
they earned it, but it's definitely not over for either EG or Team Liquid. And my final point on Energy is they had such a weird year. Like, I look back, and they were still the 5 seed, but they had an absurd amount of really close losses. So that's a really exciting series. Definitely tune in tomorrow because that is it for us today. We will be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific, with the final match of the week, Golden Guardians versus Energy. See you then.
Why are they jumping, bro? Why are they getting like that? Why are they getting their heart pumped, like, bro?
Glacial Fissure, right onto Revenge, but he soaks it on up. Fudge coming in for the left flank, and Evil Geniuses all 5 like a pack of hyenas turn right into Fudge. Then burning down, Unforgiven flashing forward, and that is the Aphelios ult into Moonlight Vigil.
Renekton.
I don't want to speak.
I'm chasing. Abby, okay?
Yeah, look 80. Look 80.
I got it.
He's dead. We can.
Can you end?
I think we can. Go, man.
I don't know how we...
Man, randoms!
Get him. My bad. I misplayed defense this game.
Arctic Assault lands the Permafrost stun. Emenes trying to body block it with the body slam. That Unforgiven finds the damage. Blaber jumps in, forcing the flash. Berserker with the power instinct. They're so low to the side of EG. And Cloud9 just find a way to take them all down.
Big win. Okay, 4v5, just so you guys know. Look, reactor.
Hit that him. Okay, nice.
Sejuani?
I'm fine.
Top lane is weak.
I'm going to see now because Berserker...
Oh, wait, Berserker. He knows that Unforgiven still doesn't have flash from before. Mystic shot. Berserker doesn't have flash, but if he can get an arcade shift, there it is. Blinds it true.
He's too good.
Did he have blue up? He's Crane, bro.
And Emenes is caught up. Jojopyun over the wall. Finds a massive shuffle onto 2. Berserker and Emenes are taken out of the fight. Fudge goes all out, but he cannot withstand EG. And they do everything they can to correctly close this game 1 out. As Zven gets caught out, but Eyla goes down. He's still surviving. Zven might go down to one more auto attack, but he walks on out. As they look for the turnaround, Jojo is the one that disappears. Berserker's on a tear. They rip Unforgiven to shreds. Sheiden is gone, and Berserker might just pick himself up just before Revenge slices and dices him out. That one goes over to Blaber.
Go to my
Stop flashing, okay?
Hey, I want to hit this.
No, look.
Coming.
Zero.
Is it dead? What GD? Can we have? Go top.
Hey, Renekton's.
They might just look to do it right here, right now. Revenge is gone. Ayla's gone. Cloud9 gonna start hitting onto the Nexus towers. There are multiple members low, but they will just push for the very end. 1 second on Jojo, 1 second on Unforgiven, but Cloud9, you don't need to be an evil geniuses to just be better.
We got
it. Nice. Hit. We're going to Worlds! Woo! Good shit.